Hello everyone, and welcome to my next video for Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. And in this video I'm going to be taking on the Ancient Memories level 180 Chaos Challenge quest as part of Desch's character event. And for this I'm going to be bringing along a team of Desch, Ultimecia and Onion Knight with a Brothers Summon. So I haven't seen too much hype for Desch this time around, to be honest, which, I mean, I kind of understand it. Because if you look purely in terms of what they contribute to a team, you know, what sort of role they fulfill, then on the surface Desch is definitely quite redundant with Raijin. And I know that Raijin had a lot of hype behind him, and yeah, I was quite looking forward to playing with him and pulling him as well. So he's definitely a viable substitute, and I definitely don't think that Desch is a must-pull by any means, although I do think that he'll make your life easier, and I do think that possibly in the future, when we get into Lufenia content, that his true value is going to make itself known then. Like, there are a few important differences I feel that I should point out compared, you know, if I compare Desch and Raijin's kit. Now, the first thing is I don't see a lot of people mention it very much, is that Desch has a 40% elemental weakness damage buff on his LD. Now that is 2/3 of the power of Kryle's skill 1, and that is a major part of Kryle's kit, because she basically multiplies the bravery damage everyone deals against elemental weakness. It's why, if you don't have her buffs on, she can hit for absolute peanuts. Now, she hits for very low amounts of bravery damage because her base attack stat is low, but as soon as you get her above a certain threshold, she's just dropping 9s everywhere. And it's kind of the same thing. Like, Desch is not quite as powerful in that regard, but, you know, 40% is a lot, because it's multiplicative. It's not like 40% attack, which might get you a few hundred extra bravery damage, you know. So even though Desch's attack auras are weaker than Raijin, he's definitely a powerful offensive enabler, because going into the future, when we get into you know, late Chaos and as we transition into Lufenia, we're going to start getting bosses that have a lot of bravery damage reduction, you know, separate to high defense. And brave damage reduction is just a flat percentage reduction of the total amount of bravery damage that you deal, and it's super obnoxious because like 80% defense might cut your damage by like several hundred points or whatever, but you know, 50% brave damage reduction is just going to chop your damage in half. So obviously you can still deal 9999 if you deal enough damage to bypass that threshold, but we're getting to the point now that I think so many characters, especially with their LD passives, have enough attack to get past the defense. What they need is to be able to multiply their bravery damage, and that will become even more important as we get deeper into Lufenia. So that is something that Desch brings to the table, because you know, you get characters like Saz that boost everyone's critical damage, like Aranea with her Vital Crusher. I know Aranea is starting to run out of steam a little bit now because she doesn't quite have the longevity, but she's still very good. And if you bring characters like Saz, like Aranea, like Desch, then you're going to be able to get around that super obnoxious brave damage reduction. Another thing that I feel is the most important thing for me personally to point out is that he's not as slow as fucking Treacle. Like, he is not molasses. Desch actually has a speed stat. Or, like, you know, he can actually take turns, which to me was the most frustrating thing when I was trying to play with Raijin. He, like, never takes turns. I mean, you can say his paralysis is more reliable because he uses it every 3 turns, but if he never gets 3 turns to use it, what's the fucking point? And at least Desch's LD, if the paralysis fails, he still gives you a defense debuff, and he actually drops the max brave of the enemies as well on his EX skill, and he has 80% brave damage reduction, which is a huge amount. And like, definitely for some enemies, like if you think about those Mariliths back on the Sink Lost chapter, you know, remember when you kill them and they just kind of do a last suicide attack on you, and if you don't have a way of mitigating the damage for that, you're just going to get blown up. Well, 80% reduction is a lot, that's all I'm going to say. So yeah, Desch definitely has his utility value in my opinion. So, I mean, I've just rolled some extremely basic artifacts for him at this point. He is Synergy, and he does have that damage increase, like I said, so he's not going to be doing really below max damage. So I just got all in for the max brave, so his EX does the most damage possible. Ultimecia is Ultimecia. She needs no introduction, she's bonkers, she's fully maxed. I've got triple spears on her as well. I'm probably going to have to remove this Kuja Spear at some point though, because I do want to give that to Kuja himself when he gets his burst, because I am going all the way in for Kuja's burst. I'm probably going to be using that thing, well, I expect to be using it quite a lot. And then I have Onion Knight as well, who, as you might notice, is fully bordered and actually has a purple weapon. I can't spare him any armor ingots at the moment, and I can't spare him his Bloomstone, and I have a load of summon boards unequipped. Why do I have these unequipped? I don't know. Let's put some of these on, shall we? Diablos Brave Rejuvenate. Target, but I don't even have Blizzard power up on him. Are you serious? Okay, what am I doing? What am I doing with my life? Yeah, we don't need Chase. We do, however, need Ice damage. Yeah, even with that, Onion Knight is still going to be capping because he's Onion Knight. I'm going to be pulling for his LD in the future, so I think it's a worthy future investment to do it now. Yeah, so I'm just going to go in. Like, one thing I could do if I wanted to be super trolly to the bosses is I could take Diablos, because if we take any damage, that is an extra 30% more damage to elemental weakness. So we'll just be hitting all the 9s, but we don't need it because everyone has boosted stats, so we're just going to go in. Now, the first wave is really not a threat. It's these lizards, and they're just not a threat. The second wave is these things, and yeah, we'll talk about those as we get into the actual quest. But they do have a stance that's kind of annoying, and it basically reduces all of your battery to non-existent levels. Like how a lot of late Lufenias have brave battery reduction as well as damage reduction. Well, yeah, those guys have it as well. We get like a sneak preview of how it's going to be. So obviously we're just going to open up with the physical move. Yeah, I really like that both Onion Knight and Desch get this free turn at the start, and then they can rotate into whatever the hell they want. I don't even have to be worried about taking HP damage, because if Ultimecia gets clapped, then Desch is a healer as well. And look at how little damage we're taking there. That is, I mean, that's 80%, right? That's a lot of reduced damage. So, yeah, I'm going to use his LD skill now, just so we can get up that electric area for that increased damage. Not that we really need it at this point. So even the base version of that attack was doing a rather hefty sum. I'm actually going to pop one Hell's Judgment here, because I like to do that just to get the sap up on the enemies. Oh, so we get a remove miss, and we get a framed paralysis. Now that's quite interesting because obviously, and we get another paralysis, like the power of Desch. One thing I find interesting about the Desch that we've got in global is that he seems to be bugged like he was in JP. So his LD buff has a so electric area. Yeah, increases party's brave damage, but it doesn't only do that. It has a 25% chance of inflicting paralysis to the enemy after every turn they take. And if that fails, it inflicts 40% death down instead. But the paralysis it inflicts is not supposed to be framed, but there was a bug in the JP version where it was framed. And we seem to have got that, which I find very, very odd. So what I will say is don't expect the framed paralysis to stay there permanently. Like, that is probably going to be removed at some point, but just enjoy it while it's there. At least it means it can't be removed, right? Oh look, paralysis again. I mean, this is extremely lucky RNG, don't expect to get it all the time. Yeah, there we go, with the defense drop. But I mean, this is a challenge quest, but this is really more of a Desch and Ultimecia showcase, because, I mean, Ultimecia, we know how strong she is, and let's just say that Desch is a lot better than Pain, you know what I mean? That's all I'm going to say on that. And plus this quest is a lot easier than, this is just a lot easier than Ultimecia's Lost Chapter in the first place. Like, I mean, look, the enemies are dead already. I use this and they're just going to die. Just pathetic. Well, someone's not even charged yet. So yeah, they call it a challenge quest, but you could probably do this. Like, I've seen someone do it with like Desch 35 CP, which is bonkers. But I can definitely believe it. So yeah, you can see here we've got this brave gain reduction. So Ultimecia's not getting any sort of brave regen, although she still hits like a truck, thanks to Synergy and Desch. Okay, what's she at? One turn of that, so we need to pop this next. we can pretty much just burn through Ultimecia's skills if we really want to. They're in magic mode, so I'm going to rotate into a skill 1 here, even though it does less damage. Oh look, it's an EX again. I missed doing this with Ultimecia, man. It's so fun. It's a lot more fun when you press S2 and you get up to like... That would go all the way to 99k if we had enough Brave Regen. But sadly we don't. What we do have, however, is a lot of 9s. Okay, so... yeah, I'm gonna do this, just for the speed boost. So, only Knight's gonna get broken, but that's fine. It gets paralyzed anyway. And then this is gonna do absolutely nothing to Ultimecia. So yeah, just sit back and watch the show. Can't really call it a challenge quest with characters this broken. We will have to slow down with ulti a little bit though. Okay, so it's into its physical state now, which means that our Brave Regen and batteries will actually work. And ulti just takes a lot of damage, that's fine. Don't really care about that. No. No, we're fine. So she's got 1 turn of her LD buff left. Okay, so let's pop one of these. I've got lawn shots on both of them, but I can't really do much about that right now. At least we'll actually gain more bravery from the sap now they're in the physical mode, the battery reduction is gone. So I'm going to pop this Brave Regen while I can. There we go, all 9s. So I'm probably going to be going into summon the next opportunity that we get with ulti. I'm gonna have to do it. Why not? Alright, well, it's time... It's time to go. Oh, I should really have... I probably should have used Apocalypse outside the summon, but you know what? Let's just have Ulti take it over. Then we'll just get ridiculous turn advantage. Absolutely disgusting. And please tell me Desch has got his EX up as well, which he does. He doesn't have his LD buff up anymore, but honestly I don't think we need it. We're still hitting stupidly high amounts of damage anyway, so yeah. Just gonna say we don't need it. Okay, that damage was starting to fall off a little bit. So let's get this back up. I'm gonna kill this thing. It was about to use an all attack. Alright, okay, it goes into a rage mode. That's always fun, isn't it? When that happens. I didn't know about that. But it's basically dead anyway. This should be it. This should be GG. It is not GG. How is that not GG? Ha! You got turn rate, but you got paralyzed and only Knight's in ninja mode anyway, so this is GG. There we go. No problem at all. So yeah, that's the difference when you got characters like Ulti and Desch. But honestly, I just don't think this was anywhere near as hard as the Ultimecia Lost chapter in the first place. So yeah, that's going to be my my clear run of Desch's event. So I hope everyone enjoyed. I hope everyone who did pull for Desch had some amazing luck. And I will catch you guys on the next video. Until then, take care and goodbye.